Hi, how are you guys today? I was down at the convenience store a while ago, and I happened to be talking to a friend of mine that works there, and he asked me, how my holster business was going. I told him it was going rather well, but it could always be better. While we were talking about holsters, a lady come up to me, and she just kind of laid into me with a little bit of an anti-gun rant, and she said three things that I hear all the time, and yet I found kind of amazing. She said, nobody needs a gun anyway, is what she told me. She also told me that guns are just made for killing people, especially handguns, and that handguns have no legitimate sporting use, and therefore we shouldn't be allowed to have them. I just wanted to respond to that. I thought, that's common, and probably what happens most of the time is people end up just mad and yelling at each other, and there's really not a lot of calm discussion about it. So I thought I'd take each one of those statements and just give my thoughts on it, and I'm curious if you guys want to chime in and comment what you think about it. First off, no one needs a gun anyway. That may or may not be true. By the time you need one, it's probably a little too late to go get it. And I think that each person should have the right to decide whether they need it or not. But that aside for just a second, are we really a country that's based on what we need? I mean, no one needs a Corvette, no one needs a 10-bedroom house if they have 2 kids. There's a lot of things no one needs, but in America, the beautiful thing about this country is if you want something and are willing to work for it and willing to pay for it, you can have lots of things that you don't need. Again, my thoughts on the gun are, there are a lot of times a person will need a gun. Those are not the times to be trying to find one. They're certainly not the times to be trying to familiarize yourself with it, learn how to use it. If I'm in a situation where I actually need a gun, I hope I'm already in possession of one, familiar with it, and mentally tough enough to use it. She also said guns are only for killing people. Handguns, she did say handguns. She said handguns are just for killing people. That's not true. They're actually made to stop people from killing you. A self-defense handgun is made to defend yourself, to defend your family, to protect your property in certain instances. It's not made just for killing people. But again, to delve a little deeper into that, I've never heard of a house where in the middle of the night some deer broke in, got the people out of bed, herded them into the living room and killed them. I mean, when it gets right down to it, most likely to defend yourself, you're going to be doing that against people. So you really do need a gun designed to incapacitate or stop or possibly be lethal to human beings. It won't do you much good to have a gun designed to shoot quail if you have a 250-pound felon in your house with a knife getting ready to slaughter you or your family. At that point, it is a person in your home. It is a person you're going to have to use the gun against, and hopefully that gun was indeed designed to incapacitate or stop that person. I'm sure no one wants to kill somebody, but if you're put in a position where you have to defend yourself, there is the likelihood the person attacking you could die. That may be tragic, but I don't believe it's as tragic as if he were to slaughter you and your family. He put himself in the position, not vice versa. The other thing was this ridiculous chant of no legitimate sporting use. I don't make concealed carry holsters for sportsmen. I don't make them for deer hunters to pull out an LCP or a Smith & Wesson Bodyguard and hunt deer with. I make them for self-defense. I make them to use in an emergency situation, most likely against another person. And I make them for that time when a person needs them. So I feel that there is a need. There is a time when that need is going to arise that the gun be used against another person. And I don't believe that that has anything to do with legitimate sporting. I don't believe that the U.S. Constitution or the Bill of Rights was a document for sportsmen. I believe it was a document designed to enable people to protect themselves. I believe one of the primary considerations was to protect themselves against a tyrannical government, not just against criminals. But I do believe that the person has the right to defend themselves. I don't think that their weapon has to be for legitimate sporting purposes. And I do think that you're smart to prepare and have the weapon available and know how to use it before the need arises. Again, I didn't talk to the lady because I did not want to end up in a big debate in a convenience store with someone whose mind was already made up. But it did affect me enough that I did want to put a response to it on YouTube. I doubt that she'll ever see it. Hopefully you agree with me. Either way, I respect your opinion. Hopefully you agree with me. And I would like to ask that you check out my holsters at FightNGear.com, www.FightNGear.com. I do make nice concealed carry holsters, pocket holsters, inside the waistband holsters, and outside the waistband concealed carry holsters, and I would certainly appreciate your business. Thank you very much.